Okay, I was still in bed. I'm making my 12:12 monologue because I was starting to respond back to the YouTube comments and I didn't get very far because this first one just had me dying laughing of all the memories it triggered. This is on my video. Oh, which parable is this one on? Let me go to it. How do I click it? Oh, this was the monologue. Okay, I'm on the monologue. This is the comments from the monologue of all my exes live in Texas. That's the one one's from. Because if you listen to it, I talk about I make a joke saying like, hey, I'm getting fluffy, and like winter is coming, and so obviously, what does that mean? Well, it means that, spring's coming next, and naturally, that invokes that summer's next. So winter is coming means it's time to get Beachbody ready. So I made a joke about that in my video, and so she responded back, because obviously I'm aware, right? I'm not chunky, even though from this angle I can look chunky, I can look bigger, right? I can lose definition, but right, perceptions play with reality. So I'm aware I don't quantify, or I'm not defined as obese or any of those things. So she wrote back saying, it's okay again, Sharon. All that totally invisible winter fat will just turn into spring rolls. You'll be fine. Like in a laughy face and a hearty face, right? And it made me giggle because I was like, bro, I remember my fat days. It reminded me of like all the days I got so fat, guys, from celebrating, realizing that I made it. And I'm going to graduate from the academy, and I'm gonna be a dentist. And I'm going to an Ivy League dental school. I felt like I was on top of the world. I celebrated so hard, y'all, that I gained so much weight that I couldn't even fit into my graduation uniforms. The first thing my dad said to me when he saw me was, "You've been someone's been dealing with the hops or something like that. Someone's been drinking a lot of hops," because I was chubby. I think I got up to like 185 pounds. Bro, I normally reside around like 140, 145. I got up to 185 or like 180. I was chunky. Because remember, they used to, those like beer towers that you could order when you go out to restaurants and bars and stuff. There's an Irish place, an Irish pub or something that had those tall towers. And I used to order when I would drink it all by myself. Guys, I was a hoss, man. Yo, this is why livers regenerate, because humans have to have one example to show that, hey, this is possible, right? That organ regeneration is possible, and this is proof of it, but you guys just got to figure out the nuances. We can't give you everything because, again, it's so much more fun to learn things when you discover them and you understand them yourselves. It's like, would you rather be given the instructions of how to do organ regeneration? Because is that going to mean you're going to understand it? No, you're just going to follow it like a checklist and live in a state of awe and wonder, being like, this is unknown, it's a miracle. Thank you for this like extraordinary gift. If like an alien species came down and gave it to us, it would lead to a gap in knowledge, because no one would understand how it even occurs if you're just given it. Anyways, where did I go on that? Oh yeah, so I just drank so much. And so I understand now. I was giggling to myself, being like, that's why the liver is the organ that was chosen to demonstrate regeneration properties, because it's a heavy hitter in the body, right? Your liver is a champ. It can take some damage. And there's a reason for that, because it symbolizes the capacity and innovation and ingenuity and resilience of the human species. So extraordinary, right? Anyways, because everything else, right? All the other organs can take a pretty big hit, like your heart. Y'all, I've treated some patients before where their blood glucose was so thick, so out of control, like syrup, that when I did extractions, I could smell, it smelled like the sweetness of syrup. Like if I was blind and I just did a blind taste test or a smell test, I would think that was maple syrup. Like that's how strong and thick the patient's blood was. And I was so fascinated by it, the sweet smell. I was like, wow, that smells really good. It smells like nectar. Like I can understand why the concept of vampirism or the myth of vampires came about, Because imagine the first diabetic person, which had an A1C that was like 15 or something like that, and they're still walking around somehow because the body's miraculous. And they smelled it, or maybe they even tasted it like a weirdo. I did not do that. And they were like, oh my gosh, this must be how like vampire bats feel when they drink blood. It's so sweet. And that's how the legend of Dracula was born. Do you see how curiosity works, guys? Oh. Anyways, this all started from this comment of someone saying, it's okay, Sharon, all that totally invisible winter fat, blah, blah, blah. So I said this, though. I responded back by saying this. I have definitely gone through my chubby bunny phases of life, and I can confidently say I have so much PTSD from having extra fluff that I think I developed an allergy to becoming obese. Y'all, I literally think I'm allergic to obese, like literally becoming obese. My body has been so traumatized by what it experienced when I was in my phases of obesity, or what is defined as obesity, that my body absolutely refuses to enter that state. It will do anything it possibly can to avoid that state because of what I put it through. Because of that, like anything I eat just magically vanishes or gets utilized. I think that's how I became so smart, because my body physiologically developed an allergy to me getting obese. So it's like, boys, let's kick it into high gear. Every cell was just like, guys, we ain't doing this again. We are not going through her fat days again. Do we remember everything that she did to us? We are not doing that again. No. Oh. So yeah, that's the story of how it works better than Ozempic or anything. I don't even have to take any medications, y'all. I can eat whatever I want because my body is just so afraid of obesity, so allergic to it, that it finds a way to utilize all the energy or all the things I consume. It's wild. Okay, anyways. Next comment. And she said, P.S. I absolutely love the footsteps and memories that you took little by little where your life has been, but now also where you are now. And I laughed because in that video, I went through my footprints that I had. There was 12 footprints that I drew on for some class at the academy, and I found it coincidentally sitting on my desk, and I decided to talk about it. And I laughed because when I made that video, it's all these extraordinary things and how I frame it, but it's just the surface. So I wrote back, yeah, it was really fun to come across those because every footstep had so many layers that could easily be perceived as catastrophically painful and filled with existential hopelessness and despair, coupled with cosmic levels of pain and suffering. But man, are those some cherished memories. Because every single one of those memories, guys, I have something that catastrophically happened to me that was either embarrassing, shameful, physically painful, mentally painful, where I felt jaded, where I felt like I had an injustice done to me, where I cried for hours and days, months, years of my life being like, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why am I experiencing this? What did I do to deserve this? Oh, the level of despair associated with those 12 footsteps. So extraordinary. It's like centuries and centuries of just so much unanswered questions of cycles of searching and seeking any sort of sense of solace and comfort that I could find or perceive. Ugh. Loved it all. Anyways, that's not captured, though. That's not conveyed because that one video, that's 12.5-minute long video, doesn't fully convey the depths of those things. I'll even take the vacations that we went on. Because growing up, my parents, they fought nonstop because there was so much misunderstanding. They didn't understand one another. Again, love becomes a prison when you don't understand it. When you're with your soulmate in prison and misunderstanding is running rampant, it invokes a physical state of turmoil and chaos. And so we grew up in an environment where it was normal to hear yelling and misunderstanding. And my parents, they never said I love you to one another. I never heard it. I never saw physical touch. I never perceived it at all. And so I was like, all right, these are the vibes. Cool. This is a vibe. It's a weird way to express love, but I feel y'all. Y'all are adorable. I love you still both. Like, but one time I got so distraught from them fighting. I was crying. I remember it was in Washington. So I think I was in like 2nd grade or 3rd grade. I wrote a letter to them talking about how like their love was being misunderstood and how they were misunderstanding each other. And I remember putting it in the hallway, and I put it on the ground there, and I was waiting inside my bedroom door. I was crying, and I was waiting for one of them to walk down the hallway to stop fighting, stop yelling at each other, to read it. I remember my dad came down the hallway first, and I heard his footsteps, and I heard him pick up the paper. And he didn't read it because he thought it was trash, I think. I might have blacked out that he opened it up to read it, but I remember hearing him pick it up and just crumble it. I remember hearing the picking up part and then crumbling. And I was like, oh no, that didn't work. Oh no. So that was a bummer, right? Those are memories embedded into in those footsteps that I didn't stay. Those memories include like the academy, right? I understand now why my mom was afraid for me to go to the academy, because of things that occurred, especially to females, physically and mentally at the academy. There are some things that, again, are dark and scary that can fill someone easily with hopelessness and despair if labeled a certain way. And I experienced those things, and yet I view them as all extraordinary and reverent because I've learned that they are puzzle pieces for my growth and understanding. But I will say, they can definitely be viewed from existential chaos and despair and the depths of